Joining me now is Senator Alex Padilla. He is a Democratic senator from the state of California. Senator Padilla, thank you so much for being with us. This was your first impeachment trial, your first chance to sit in that chamber when something of this historic importance was going on. What was it like for you?
So good morning, John. Good to be back with you. I don't think I'll ever forget yesterday. It was pretty darn sobering, not just to hear the House managers present the case, but that video montage that made the case for itself. As horrific as the violence was on January 6th, I think equally horrific is that it doesn't come as a shock if you've been paying attention to what Trump's been saying for years.
Now, our reporting is that some Republican senators, Rand Paul, we're told, who was maskless, doodling squiggly lines, and there were other senators there who were looking down at their papers, weren't even paying attention to the video as it was playing. Did you have a chance to look around and get a sense of what your colleagues were doing?
Looked around a little bit, but frankly was riveted by the presentation being made by the House managers and pretty offended by the defense team. You know, their presentation would have been laughable if the subject matter wasn't this serious. We're talking high crimes and misdemeanors here, not just a deadly insurrection rebellion in the Capitol incited by the President of the United States. How could you not give your wholehearted attention to the matters before us?
Now, we heard from Republican Senator Bill Cassidy just moments ago, who said he changed his mind on the constitutionality of it. In general, what else have you heard from your Republican colleagues behind the scenes?
Look, I think it's not just a matter of keeping open minds as jurors. You got to keep open eyes, open ears to the evidence before us. It couldn't be clearer. I can't think of any other trial where the evidence to be considered was broadcast on television in real time for the whole country, for the whole world to see. And if you agree with the basic value statement that nobody is above the law and that there ought to be consequences for breaking the law, then this should be an open and shut case.
What happens behind the scenes? There was this 10-minute break, for instance, between the two presentations. What happens then? What's the interaction between you and your fellow senators?
Yeah, I mean, I think during that break couldn't have come at a better time, given the emotional level it reached after Representative Raskin, shared what his personal experience was during that insurrection. So I think folks needed to take a breath. One of the things that was palpable, and I think this applies for both sides of the aisle, is the trauma is still fresh. Think about this, John. The trial is happening at the scene of the crime. And to see those images, to see the video, to hear the president's words, it's reliving the experience for my colleagues who were there on January 6th and bringing back the flurry of emotions that I witnessed from 3,000 miles away.
What do you think the managers, how do you think they should present their case today? What do you think? What is the argument you think that they should make?
Yeah, look, I think, again, the evidence is clear for anybody who's been paying attention to Trump for the last several years. It wasn't just the morning of January 6th that started this all. And if, the presentations from yesterday ensuring the constitutionality of going forward with the case is any indicator to what we're in for the next couple of days, I think the House managers are going to do a great job. The tweets are there, the video is there, the language is there, and sadly the fatalities are there as a result. The defense team, the tough task, because I don't think Trump's actions are defensible in any way, shape, or form.
What evidence do you need to hear about the former president's state of mind, what he was saying or thinking during January 6th?
Again, the whole world has been witnessing his state of mind for years. And on January 6th, we saw him take the stage and rile up the mob. He said he'd be with them and to show strength to take back to stop the steal conspiracy theory. Look, sorry, not sorry for taking this a little personal. This big lie about stealing the election started even before he was sworn in as president in 2016 when he attacked the integrity of the elections in California and other states who have been battling the lies, the conspiracy theories for years. And sadly, 5 people lost their lives as a result of the insurrection on January 6th. There has to be accountability. We can't unite as a nation and move forward without letting everybody know across the political spectrum there are consequences when you break the law.
Very quickly, California is, if it hasn't already this morning, is about to surpass New York as the state with the most coronavirus deaths in the country. New York front-loaded its deaths, unfortunately, so much so early. California, you can see, it's been a long process.
Right.
What do you think happened? I mean, what went wrong in California?
Yeah, well, there was a whole lot that went right in California in the early months. Governor Newsom was the first to order statewide stay-at-home orders, face coverings, etc. If only every governor across the country had been that aggressive early on, we could have mitigated a lot of the cases and certainly a lot of the deaths. But what we're suffering the consequences of now is clearly the lack of a plan at all for the first 10 months of the pandemic during the Trump administration. President Biden's been in for 3 weeks now. The numbers are starting to shift in a positive way, but we still have a lot of work to do on increasing supply of the vaccine, logistics of distribution, and equitable administration of the vaccine. But the numbers are starting to trend in the right direction.
Senator Padilla, we appreciate your time. Thank you so much for being with us. Good luck as you sit and listen to the rest of the trial.
Thank you, John. Continue to stay safe.
We have